Well, hello. Today is Friday, so it's Playful Friday. And I was reflecting on what it is that I wanted to talk about today, how I wanted to engage you guys to be playful, to do something that's different. And for one thing, I am outside in my backyard because it is such a beautiful day here today in Portland that it was just I just could not resist being outside to connect with you. So when I was checking inside and saying, okay, what is it that I want to talk about today? How do I want to be playful this Friday? My eyes caught this calendar, and I remember that in December when I was looking at what I wanted as a calendar, the inspiration for the year, I saw this calendar and I just could not get it. When I saw this dancer, well, the calendar says, dancers among us, right? And it's just the pleasure, the happiness of this dancer on the cover. She's Miss June, and I just love that she seems happy. She is smiling. It looks like what she's doing is so effortless, right? As a yoga teacher, I know that she is present in every single cell of her body right now in order to have that extension that she has. Yet the lightness of it, the effortlessness of it, it's just fantastic to look at. And then the other thing that comes up for me is the lip. When I'm looking at that, I'm seeing the lip. She's taking this lip. And I have been reflecting as I have been talking about the inner child and allowing ourselves to be childlike. There is a part of us that needs to take a leap. Like last week, we were supposed to be skipping, and I put it out there for you to say, can you challenge yourself as an adult and step out and do the skipping? I did mine. The day I was writing, it was raining, so I didn't do it. But if you go on my Facebook page, on the facebook.com, it's Playful Friday, you will see I did a little video of skipping. And I remember how when I was in New York City, I was celebrating a birthday, and I wanted us to be silly. And some of my friends had to take the subway to come to my apartment, and I asked them to wear some weird stockings and things like that. And it was interesting to see the ones that did it and the one that did not. And, just the places of us that get scared or feel ashamed of doing something silly that other people might be looking at us and wondering what's going on with that. What's the big deal? And as I was working on this and reflecting, a memory of my growing up came through. So, for example, in my area of the world where I grew up anyway, I can see how as adults, there are so many ways that we constrict ourselves. I remembered my sister says, like, when you get married, it's like you have become somebody else. You are not allowed to do this, and you are not allowed to do that. And it was almost as if you almost want to say, oh, you're not even allowed to laugh, right? Because there's a certain way that you're supposed to be in society. And fast forward all these years of practice, of experiences, of ups and downs, and observing, it is kind of interesting to look into it because at the end of the day, it's like we are being placed in boxes. This is the way you're supposed to be. And when you don't want to be in that box, you are categorized. So that's another subject. I don't want to go there today. Um, but what's coming up is in order to be childlike, in order to continue to cultivate this way of being, like what is the passion inside of you? What makes you live? What makes you just want to do it? Like for me, dancing, anytime there's great music, I will dance. So in order for us to cultivate that way of being, right, we have to be open to it. We have to be willing not to listen to people that are around us. And I'm seeing that in wanting to be adults, we were confused in becoming responsible, having accountability, and keeping our childlike attitude, which is again different than being childish. And we will have that conversation maybe one day. So for today, it's very light, it's Playful Friday. I am just noticing the places that constrict us when we say Be childlike. Allow the spirit inside of you to keep expressing. And another story that's popping in my mind right now is a friend of mine when I was in New York, who was rollerblading, and then he had an accident because there were some cables on the road that he didn't see, and then he kind of flew over, fell down, and broke a hip, and then he needed to have surgery. And people were kind of like getting on him as like, what are you doing rollerblading at your age? Because at the time, Pitkin was 60 years old. It was like, well, what's the big deal? Is the big deal that he was rollerblading at 60 years old? Or is it that maybe he was not paying attention, or maybe he did not have enough protection? So rollerblading, in my opinion, rollerblading was not the issue, right? He's 60 years old, he wants to rollerblade. That brings fun to him. Why not? But that was the issue was for people that when we are a certain age, we are supposed to be this way or that way. So with It's Playful Friday, the invitation is break those barriers, get yourself free outside of the box, do something that makes you happy. When you were a child, what were you loving to do? Allow the spirit inside of you to express yourself, because those are the places where there are just delightful little ways of being that comes to us. So there you go. It's Happy Friday. Go have fun, be playful, and enjoy your Playful Friday. Bye-bye.